Okay, this is for 8.2, the sine and the cosine ratio. I'm going to break this down into a few different levels. So the first level, you're either going to go from 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. But actually 2 is by itself. So really, the first thing you need to do is identify the sides. So when you have this type of triangle, this is the right angle. This is always the hypotenuse. So if we're looking at this angle, let's say the angle is this here, A. So this is A, this is your adjacent side because it touches the theta, touches the angle. This is your opposite side. It's not touching the angle. So that's the first thing you need to be able to do. So yeah, you need to be able to do that. But this one, you just plug it in the calculator. So sine 35 y equals, I'm just going to punch this in the calculator. So sine of 35 is 0.5736. For the angle, you do the inverse. So x equals the cosine inverse of 0.4335. So cosine inverse of 0.4335. That's x equals 64.3. So x equals 64. All right, so these are the missing angles and missing sides. There's two variations you'll encounter where x is on top and x is on the bottom. But first, what we need to do is identify these pieces. So that's the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is always across from the 90. The 90 is here, so that's the hypotenuse. Then here's your angle. So this is the angle. This side is touching the angle. That's your adjacent, which means this is your opposite. So over here, this side is the one that's touching the angle, the 22. So 15 is your adjacent. And then this one is your opposite. So here we go. We don't have the adjacent, we just have O and H. So the three ratios, it's sine of theta equals O over H. Cosine of theta equals A over H. And then tangent of theta equals O over A. Real quick way to remember this, I'm going to write this up here. So sine is opposite hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent hypotenuse, tangent is opposite and adjacent. So this is how you can remember these things. So let's see what we've got here. So this one you have O and H, so that's sine. So sine of theta equals O over H. Yeah, let's do this one. So it's sine of 36 equals, opposite is x, hypotenuse is 45. So in this case, all you have to do to get x by itself is multiply both sides by 45. So it's 45 sine 36 equals x. Let's plug that into this calculator. Oh, okay, that's me. Okay, 45 sine of 36, 26.45. So 26.45 equals x. Is that what that said? Yes. All right, cool. So this next one, this is where x is on the bottom. This time we have A and H. We don't have O. So A and H, that's cosine. cosine theta equals a over h. So cosine of 26 equals 15 over x. We're using the shortcut here. So take this and flip them. If you want to see why this works, watch my other video. But if you just want to use the shortcut, just use the shortcut. 15 over cosine 26. So x equals 15 divided by cosine 26. 16.6. So let's call it 16.69. Nice. So this is the two types where you're finding missing sides. When you're finding missing angles, you know, I didn't put which angle to find. Doesn't matter, we can find them both. Let's do this one. This angle here. So if this is the angle we're looking at, that's hypotenuse, that's adjacent, that's opposite. So we have all three. We can really use any of them. Let's use sine again. So theta equals the sine inverse of opposite over hypotenuse. So theta equals the sine inverse of 15 over 17. It's just 15. $61.9. So let's call that 62. So theta equals 62. So if this is 62, these three angles have to add up to 90, right? So 180 minus 90, which is here, is 90, minus 62, which is 28. So this angle is 28. All right, so that is the day 2 assignment.